Thank you so much for joining me on this edition of the Late the W podcast. As always, I'm your host, Mahal. Make sure you leave a like, subscribe, leave a 5-star review, all of that fantastic jazz. If it's your first time joining, make sure you follow on social media at Late the W pod on all of that. Twitter, Instagram, TikTok. We're active on all of those. So, without further ado, let's sound the horn and get into this episode.
The pitch from Acevedo.
Swung on the line down the left field line for a base hit. Fly ball, gap, right center field.
Double him up at second.
Luke is going back to the 1-8 track. Get out the right, running Mustard Grandma. It is grand salami time.
will send Seattle to the American League Championship Series for the first time in 24 years.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back. Episode 129 of the Light the W podcast. We are 2 weeks away from opening day, and the WBC is in full-fledged baseball stardom. Everything's going on, all the storylines, the good and the bad. But that's not what today's about, Jeff. Today is about outlook for 2026 on the American League Central and the American League East. I'm Mahal Domingo Anderson, joined by Jeff Budke. Jeff, how are we doing today?
I'm doing great. I better put $300,000 on the Mariners to win the AL West at the MGM Grand. Stop asking if it was me. I don't have that kind of Skrilla. I put $500K at Caesar's Palace. Okay, it was a different bet.
Let's go, Jeff. Let's go. All in it. All
300 grand. Woo.
I respect it. They'll make something out of that.
Yeah. We may or may not talk about the WBC this episode, but I think both of us feel great that, Houston fans get to see quality baseball at least one time this year.
Yeah, I agree. I really need a Cal Raleigh homer, though, in Houston.
How about a base hit?
Yeah, that would work. I did like the hit by pitch against Mexico, coming off the dumper. That was nice.
Mm-hmm.
But Mariners have showed out pretty well. I talked about that Tuesday, so make sure you go listen to episode 128 if you want to hear about all the Mariners, what they've done so far in the WBC. But we're talking about other teams today. We're starting with the AL Central, Jeff.
What do the kids say? Tired is cheering against the Dodgers. Well, after today, what's going to be wired is cheering against the Tigers.
Okay, Jeff.
I'm all amped up, baby. I'm ready to go.
Jeff is all anti-Tigers. We'll see about the other teams.
Let's start with the defending AL Central champion Cleveland Guardians. We also open against them, so I thought that'd be fitting to begin with them. We play against them 2 times, play 7 games against them. Every other team in the AL Central, we play 6 times. Do you know how that happens? I couldn't find it.
I would assume it's because we play a 2-game series against someone from another division, but that's very weird. I have no idea.
We open March 26th through 29th, 4-game homestand against the Guard Dogs, and we are on the road in June. Last year, 2025, we went 4-2 against them. They had literally one of the worst offenses in baseball. They made, let me check my notes here, 0 additions to their offense.
Whoa, Rhys Hoskins.
Okay, on a minor league deal.
That's a dog.
They had 2 relief pitchers sign up for jail instead of pitching, and they still had an excellent bullpen. They won every game in September 1-0. Don't fact check that. And they won the AL Central after being 15.5 games behind in the division. I would say the highlight of 2025 for them was the $1 beer night they gave their fans, and the photos from that game were hilarious. You cannot charge $1 for beer anymore. It has to be more than that.
I need to go look up these photos. That sounds like a fantastic experience online.
I'll send it to you. Is it the cup snake or what's that called?
Yeah.
It's so many.
The beer snake. That's great. Okay, so the Guardians, 88-74 last year. They did finish first. I don't know how they did that, Jeff. This is not a good baseball team.
It's a straight up bad offense.
I look at the offense. It's a bad offense, like you said. This team finished 29th in OPS last year. out of, if you don't know, 30 teams, this offense was garbage. And their starting pitching
29th.
bailed them out. They were 10th in starting pitching ERA, and I look at their starting pitching, and I'm like, is Gavin Williams, who put up an ERA just barely over 3 last year, going to be able to do that with his FIP at 3.4 or 4.4, pardon, and his WHIP over 1.25? Like, let's be for real. Step backs are going to happen across the league, and the Guardians feel like a step back waiting to happen.
They will not be taking any of my money on that bet, though. I do think they have the best manager in baseball.
Ooh.
Stephen
I don't know about
Vogt.
best in baseball, best in the American League, I think, for sure.
Okay.
Stephen Vogt is amazing. I wish he was a Mariner.
And they keep taking our coaching staff. They know what's up.
Yeah. We could be the Guardians combined with the Mariners in the best way, but instead we have to watch them win the American League Central by 1 game.
We're going to talk about this more as we go through the teams. I think that the Mariners need to beat up on the American League Central this year, as they did a year ago. Especially, we play 7 against the Guardians. We have to win at least 4, preferably 5. Playing them early is way better than playing them late in the year. For some reason, some of that magic comes through. Also love avoiding playing in Cleveland in the spring. I don't know if you're familiar with the weather over there. It's not good. Overall, looking forward up to our matchups with them.
Yeah, I mean, at the very base, you look at across the league, you have to beat the teams that you are better than. You have to win the games you're expected to win, the series you're expected to win. You see that in the WBC right now. The U.S. didn't win the game they were supposed to win. It nearly got them in some trouble. Same thing with Team Mexico. It did get them in some trouble. So the Mariners have to beat up on the American League Central, like you mentioned. They got to beat up on some of their friends. Stuart Fairchild, Matt Festa, Mariners legends on the Cleveland
Festa.
Guardians roster. We did.
The other night.
We did see Matt Festa, Mariners legend, pitching in WBC. Team Italy is basically Team Mariners in the best way.
The espresso shots after a home run is one of the craziest things I've ever. What team has the chugging the water out of the spout? Is that the Orioles?
I think it's the Orioles, yeah.
Espresso shots is 100 times
Way
that
better.
as far as hilarious and insane.
And they've put the numbers of all the guys that have homered now on the espresso machine. This is the greatest thing I've ever seen in baseball. Greatest thing I've ever seen.
It'd be so cool. Italians are always so proud to be Italian.
They are.
It's amazing stuff.
And all these guys are just JV American Team USA players.
We'll talk more about odds for the division in a moment. That's all I have for the Guardians. I want to spend a little bit of time, a small amount of time on Twins and White Sox before we get into the other meat. Do you have anything on the Guardians?
Their bullpen is really good.
It's really good.
Is a really freaking good reliever.
Yep.
Come the deadline, I know I will be talking about some of their relievers as targets for the Mariners, assuming that the guards' magic doesn't fully kick in and they're somehow in it at the deadline.
And the Minnesota Twins, we play them on the road in April. Could that get snowed out? Sure. And then we're home for them July 31st through August 2nd. The reason that one is important is it's our longest homestand of the year. It's a 9-game homestand at the beginning of that. So it'd be nice to set the tone against a bad Twins team. In 2025, we were 4-3 versus the Twins, who are probably not trying to win this year, in my opinion.
I would agree with not trying to win. I do think it's interesting that Joe Ryan is still on that roster. I honestly don't know why or how he is still on that roster.
He won't be. No way.
Come the deadline, this guy's gone for sure. But we talked about it with different guys over the offseason. Why are you waiting till the deadline to trade him? Trade him now. Just trade him now.
He's going to be the second best starting pitcher that's available at the deadline. Someone's going to overpay for him. It's going to be good for the Twins overall.
I agree. I also do wonder if Byron Buxton potentially does get traded this year. That's a guy that, should he become available, I think the Mariners should definitely be interested in. Good outfielder that has dealt with injury issues, but he would be a corner outfielder. Should the Mariners have interest there, and you never know what that can do.
Do you think that our catcher would like him over the other outfielder he's fighting with right now? Oh, sorry, we're not
might
talking
have
about that.
to trade Randy, Jeff.
Randy,
might have
$4.
to trade him. Oh, team wanting to lose, trading for the guy that doesn't or that wants to handshake all his teammates. This seems like a great deal. I'm all
The
in.
the Chicago White Sox exist. They should not be as terrible as last year. We play them twice in the month of May in about a 12-day span, home and road. Road first. Go ahead and book it already. That weather's going to suck. It's going to be May 8th through 10th in Chicago. It's just going to be weird. It always is. We went 5-1 against them a year ago. Probably need to replicate that this year as well. Their offense is a lot better. They got that first baseman from Japan, whose name I can't remember.
Murakami.
Thank you. And they're going to be a better program, a better team, more hope. They have our guy that you're going to talk about in a second. And I do think they're going to be better, but it is a team that the Mariners need to beat consistently.
Yeah, 100%. They need to beat this team. This team is not a very good baseball team. They won 60 games last year. They're going to be better than that. They have some young pieces finally starting to come up. You talked about Kyle Teal. Colson Montgomery had a really good season in 71 games last year. He put up nearly 3 wins. So the 2021 first rounder, who is now 24 years old, started to sort of break out last year. But outside of that and these young guys, there's not much of interest. That said, Austin Voth, Prelander Baroa, Ryan Barucki, and our guy, Jared Kelnick, all Mariners legends
JK.
for this White Sox team. So there's things to watch as a Mariners fan, but this team's not going to be fun to watch over the course of 162 games.
Nope. But one team that will be fun to watch is the Kansas City Royals. This is the team I'm highest on in the division. Cole Reagan's coming back from injury. I think he's going to be in the AL Cy Young candidate. Obviously, all of them are candidates. He's going to be a contender. That's a better word for it. Bobby Witt Jr. might be the best player in baseball, not named Shohei Ohtani. Vinny Pasquantino just hit 3 home runs for Italy against Mexico in essentially an elimination game. Really cool stuff for Kansas City. I'm excited to watch them play. We went 4-3 against them a year ago.
Yeah, I think the biggest thing to me of interest this year is they were a really good pitching team overall last year. 7th in ERA from both their starting pitchers and their relief pitchers, but they've moved the fences in quite a bit. That's going to bolster their offense, but you wonder what that's going to do for their pitching. You talk about Cole Reagan's this guy's filthy. Like, when this guy is healthy, he is disgusting. He's a really fun pitcher to watch. And Bobby Witt Jr., if you're redrafting Major League Baseball today and you're looking towards the future, that's the guy that I think is going first overall, probably even over Ohtani. Guy is really freaking good. This is a really interesting team. They didn't do a whole lot over the offseason. Biggest move, I would say, is Matt Strahm, who they brought in, which is an interesting move for that bullpen. So we'll see what they can do in terms of, building on what they did last year. But I think that they underperformed last year, and I think they will be a better team.
We play the Royals twice in the month of May, home May 1st through 3rd, and on the road May 22nd through 24th, which means we get to avoid summer in Kansas City playing baseball there, so that's nice. The Detroit Tigers won the division a year ago. Just kidding, they blew it. They blew a 15.5 game lead. We play them on the road June 5th through 7th. That is the beginning of a 10-game road trip for us. That is a big one, June 5th through 7th. And we are home August 4th through 6th against them. In 2025, we went 4-2 against the Tigers. I have so many things to say about the Tigers. Mahal, why don't you go first?
Let's just talk about their offseason, because they actually did a lot this year. You talk about bringing back Gleyber Torres, bringing back Kyle Finnegan. They brought in Kenley Jansen to be their 38-year-old closer.
That'll do it.
So he had a good season, just down the road from me here at Angel Stadium, but 38 years old. We'll see what he does over there in Detroit. They also brought back Justin Verlander, and Jeff's favorite guy, Framber Valdez, is now a Tiger. This is an interesting team. They have a really good roster on paper. We'll see how it all fits together. I was not super high on the Tigers, to be honest, coming into this. I looked at their roster and I was like, yeah, that's a pretty damn good team. So we'll see what they can do. Mariners legend Will Vest is in their bullpen.
Will the Thrill.
We love Will Vest. This is a team that was 12th in OPS last year, 11th in starting pitching ERA. They wanted to bolster their bullpen, which was in the bottom half of the league. And they did so, bringing back Kyle Finnegan, bringing in Kenley Jansen. They did lose Tommy Kahnle and a couple guys that, who cares that they lost them. So the biggest change is going to be Kenley Jansen to Tommy Kahnle. They have some young guys coming up. You talk about Kevin McGonigal. So they have a chance to be better than they were last year. And they were on the road to being a really, really good team, if not for September.
They were on the road to being a great team, and they still could have been even without that.
100%. I mean, you look at Riley Green, Gary Carpenter, they got bats all over the place. The pitching will be the question for me, especially behind Tarek Skubal, who I don't know how I forgot to mention that guy.
The 15.5 game lead is the largest blown lead in modern baseball of a division. The last 4 times it happened, 1978, the Red Sox blew a 14-game lead. In 1979, they missed the playoffs. In 2012, the Rangers lost a 12-game lead in the division. In 2013, they missed the playoffs. 1995, the Angels lost a 12-game lead to the Seattle Mariners. In 1996, they came in last in the division and missed the playoffs. In 2006, the Detroit Tigers lost a 12.5 game lead to the Twins. In 2007, they missed the postseason.
I think the thing to mention there is that a lot of those teams missed the postseason the year they lost the division because there weren't wild card games. So that negative momentum that you build before or at the end of the season sort of carries over. This Tigers team won a wild card series against their division rivals, the Guardians. They came against Seattle, took us to Game 5, took us to 15 innings in that series. You imagine they feel pretty good about that, and this doesn't feel like a team that's going to go from, what they did last year, blowing that lead, to being a bottom of division team. This feels like a team that potentially could be even better than they were last year. But Framber Valdez, the toxicity in the clubhouse could negate that.
Really quick, in 06, before a Tigers fan yells at me, the Tigers did represent the American League in the World Series, even though they lost a 12.5 game lead. Just want to throw that out there, that did happen. What you're saying, the toxicity there, I do think losing having a collapse like that does have an impact on your team for a long time. It's something that's tough to recover from. Can they do it? Of course they can. They won the wild card over the team that caught them. They beat the Guardians 2 out of 3. And should they have beat the Mariners? No. Could they have? Absolutely. If we're talking about bad vibes, I don't know if you know this, Mahal. You're a little bit younger than me. In 2017 and 18, the Houston Astros were caught cheating during baseball games. I know, it's crazy. They were figuring out pitches. They were using electronic devices. They were communicating to the hitters what pitches were coming, and that led to a championship. And in exchange for their terrible behavior, they received a $5 million fine, and A.J. Hinch was suspended for a year, and the GM as well. Do you know who the current Tigers manager is?
No, Jeff, tell me.
It's A.J. Hinch. Did you know that Justin Verlander is back with A.J. Hinch? You know Framber Valdez played for A.J. Hinch. The vibes are bad, but I will say this team could maybe stop at nothing to win. They'll do whatever it takes. Unless that's bad.
I see what you're instigating here, Jeff.
I am. I do think that
they're going to cheat?
I'm sure they are. I just feel like Houston is finally paying its toll for those things. I think that Detroit the vibes are bad. I'm not a believer in Framber. I'm not a believer in 43-year-old Justin Verlander being able to calm things down. I am overall very skeptical of this team, and that includes Tarek Skubal. Let me continue. Dude, it's time to fire your agent and be a winner. Game 5 of the ALDS, Skubal threw 99 pitches and left the Mariners with no shot. He went 6 innings, gave up 1 earned run. Naylor hit that double. You and I both know that was pretty lucky. He stole third, and Garver was able to hit a pinch hit. Hit a sacrifice fly. Skubal was at 99 pitches and took himself out of the game. If he goes 7, I do not think the Mariners win. Team USA. You know what Team USA could use in the championship game against Japan or the DR? They could use Tarek Skubal. Guess where Tarek Skubal is? He's at home making sure his money's right. I don't know about this. I don't know about this dude. I think he's a Brave or a Philly at the deadline. I think things go bad. I don't think this goes well for this team. I think Valdez sucks, and I think that offense dries up. I think it's going to look a lot like some Mariners teams we've seen in the past. They're losing a lot of games 3-1, 3-2.
My pushback would be I do think that this bullpen is better than it was a year ago, and I think that can make up for some of the later starting pitching woes and some of the offensive potentially woes that you're talking about. But I mean, I look at this offense and up and down, it's a pretty damn good offense. You talk about Riley Green, you talk about Harry Carpenter, even Dylan Dingler had an interesting year last year as a mostly defensive catcher. I think for them, the question is, can Gleyber Torres replicate what he did last year? Because this is a guy that had a 113 WRC plus last year, hasn't really been that guy over the course of his career. Correct me if I'm wrong. And he's now 29 years old. He's getting closer to that age of 30 where you start to see guys drop off. Spencer Torkelson finally figured out with a 118 WRC plus. There were a lot of things that went right last year for this team. Zach McKinstry had a 114 WRC plus out of nowhere. I look at this team and there is the opportunity to be a really good team, but there is the opportunity for this team to be similar to what I think the Blue Jays are going to do, where they had a lot of guys have career years and they just kind of fall off a cliff. You think about the 2023 Texas Rangers to the 2024 Texas Rangers. There's the possibility that this offense does a very similar thing. But I think that Tarek Skubal is so good that starting pitcher in of itself can make this team different. It makes it so that every 5 days you're like, we got to win. But that didn't work for the Mariners just a decade ago.
I think that will be the case. I don't think it'll be for this team. I think it's just the feet's gonna be in the fire. They're gonna be 6 games under 500 in July, and someone's gonna offer them something that they have to say yes to. I forgot to mention Tiger shortstop prospect Kevin McGonigal is the number 2 prospect in baseball, and a lot of people think he's gonna make the squad out of camp. If he comes in and is the AL Rookie of the Year, that is going to be that could also be enough to keep them in it.
It definitely could, but this is a guy that is 21 years old. There is the entire possibility that they are rushing this guy to the big leagues because they need someone that can come and contribute. There's entirely the possibility that this guy is just not good.
That's true. I don't think Baez is good. Baez is not good.
Another guy that just had a great year last year, at least for part of the season, and then fell off a cliff. And look at where they're at now. They need some guys at the bottom of this lineup that you don't expect to be super big contributors to be contributors, and it starts with Kevin McGonigal, I think.
My prediction for the AL Central is Royals first, Guardians second. Why Guardians second? I don't know. They just keep doing it. I have no idea. Tigers third, White Sox fourth, and I think the Twins come in fifth. I think they sell even more than they did last year's deadline, and I think the White Sox try to win.
I would go 5 with the White Sox. I think that the Twins just having a few pieces left even for half a season will make it so that they can keep themselves above water. So I would say them 5, Twins 4. I'd go Guardians 3. I just think that there's been too much guards magic over the past couple of years that it finally sort of doesn't happen for them, even with a guy in Jose Ramirez that is such a stud. But the pitching to me is not there. And against a division that has quite a few decent lineups, I think that pitching will come back to bite them. Second, I'm going to go with the Tigers. There's something about them that just doesn't feel right to me. And even more importantly, the Royals there's something about 2026 and the Kansas City Royals that just feels right. It feels like it's like Bobby Witt Jr.'s MVP season. It feels like it's going to all happen for them to win this division.
I think that the Royals have number 1 seed potential just from beating up on the White Sox and the Twins and some of the teams in their division. I forgot to mention Vegas has the Tigers as basically even odds to win the division. Royals 2-1, Guardians 4-1, Twins are 9-1. And I want to throw out on this podcast that I'll give you 10-1. You can send me your money, and I'll give you 10-1 if the Twins win. And the White Sox are 22-1. I can't believe the Twins aren't like 20-1. That makes no sense. I don't see an avenue where they win the division.
It's not possible. It's not going to happen.
The best lineup for me, I think, is going to be the Royals. I think the best rotation, it should be the Tigers, but I think if they sell, if my outcome is correct, it's going to be the Royals. I like the Royals rotation. Top 3 players, I think Bobby Witt is the best player by a mile. I think Cole Reagans, Jose Ramirez are the cream of the crop. If it's Riley Green, if it's some of those Tigers, like things are going to change. I'm just skeptical. The wildest range of outcomes, that's the Tigers, and I think the fewest range of outcomes, that's the White Sox. They're going to be in 5th or 4th. I don't think there's any chance of them being higher than 4th.
Yeah, I mean, I would just echo exactly what you just said. I think that the best lineup is probably the Tigers for me. That's the only thing I would probably change. And I just think it's a slightly deeper lineup. The question I have with the Royals is, do they have the depth in the lineup to be able to compete? And I think overall, even with Bobby Witt Jr., that's the only thing that I would knock them for, and was part of the reason why they struggled last year.
4, as successful as the Seattle Mariners were against the American League Central, we were equally dismal against the American League East. We did not have a great year against them. Our first American League East opponent is the New York Yankees. We host them in the second series of the season, March 30th through April 1st. And then we're on the road against them in August. That August road trip, it goes from New York to Houston to Milwaukee. Last year we had that trip through Philly and Baltimore where we just got destroyed. I think that's the one we're circling as, can we be better? The Yankees, we went 1-5 against them a year ago. Not ideal.
Not ideal, to say the least. This Yankees team, I don't know what to think. I think that this team could finish 5th in the East. And I look at their lineup specifically. Let's start there. And I talked about overperformers last year for multiple teams. I specifically talked about the Tigers last year. Well, let's talk about Trent Grisham. Trent Grisham was an 83 WRC plus in 2022, 89 in 2023, 93 in 2024. He hits 34 home runs last year and is a 129 WRC plus. They offer the qualifying offer. This guy takes it
right away
because he gets his money, because he's not that good of a baseball player. I don't know what to tell you. Trent Grisham leading off is not going to go well for this Yankees team in 2026. And that's just the start of it. Jazz Chisholm, Giancarlo Stanton, are they going to put up numbers like they did last year? Giancarlo Stanton doesn't have elbows. Like, both his elbows.
He can't open a bag of chips. That was like the headline the other day.
Is this guy, at what point does he just retire? Because he literally can't play baseball games anymore. Jazz Chisholm feels like he's a toxicity in every way.
Said he's going for a 50-50 season. That's his goal. His
How
career
about you
highs
go
in both are
2020 again?
31-31. And he didn't do them at the same time.
Like, if I get 25-25 from Jazz, I'll be shocked.
In a vacuum, if you, not for the Mariners, but just some random team, would you rather have Trent Grisham on a 1-year deal or Gleyber Torres on a 1-year deal?
Trent Grisham, for what team? Does it matter?
Not the Mariners, just the Marlins. I don't know. Just literally, like, who's better at baseball in your mind?
I think Gleyber Torres.
I love the conviction in your voice. Love it.
I don't know. The reason I instantly went to Trent Grisham is because he's at Yankee Stadium, and that's the only reason this guy hit 34 home runs last year, because of that damn short porch that nobody likes, that nobody wants, that we should just demolish. Because it's a joke of a stadium.
It's a joke of a stadium.
It's a joke of a stadium, just like Houston is. Watching the WBC at Houston has made me so mad. So mad.
But yeah, let's give Aaron Judge the MVP. Don't give it to Cal.
Yeah. I mean, Judge is a very good player. You know, he's I guess he's a top 3 player in baseball. You could make the argument.
Do you know how old Aaron Judge is, by the way?
I don't. I have it right here, so I just cheated, but I don't know.
Do you know who's older, him or Bryce Harper?
I'm going to guess Judge, just because Harper was like Sports Illustrated, baby.
It's Judge, yeah. Harper's been a part of our lives for so long. I see a Aaron Judge decline. I think he's finally not winning the MVP. I'm just like I'm so excited for all this,
I think it's
the whole
Bobby Witt
Yankees year.
Jr.'s year. And they have Garrett
You
Cole
just
coming
stole
back.
my thunder. Oh my goodness.
My fault, Jeff. But this Yankees team, they have a rotation, Jeff. Right? They do.
I guess. I like Max Fried if he plays.
Max
I
Fried.
like Garrett Cole. I don't like him. He's good at baseball.
I hate Garrett Cole.
Obviously, I hate Garrett Cole too.
He
I meant
belongs on the
I
Tigers.
like the statistics he can provide for a baseball team. But if you wear that Houston hat long enough, I can't stand you.
Yep. I'll never forget the Jose Caballero moment with Garrett Cole. And now they're teammates, and they're going to be playing together on a team for the first
Keep
time this
forgetting
year.
that.
It's a shame that Jose Caballero is a Yankee.
It really is. Remember when he kicked that ball in Marlin Stadium in like his first game with the Yankees? That was a highlight 25 for me.
It was great. And I love Jose Caballero. That's my all-time favorite Mariner.
That can't be your all-time favorite Mariner.
That's my all-time favorite Mariner.
The Baltimore Orioles spent a ton of money on only offense this season, this offseason. We played them 7 times. This is our 7-gamer against the AL East as the Orioles. We're on the road in June 8th through 11th, and then we're at home against them June 16th through 18th. So we see them a lot in a very short amount of time. In 2025, we're 1-5 against them. Yuck. They brought in Pete Alonso. You may have heard of him. Traded for the Angels player that I like, Taylor Ward, and made some good additions, but have decided that pitching doesn't exist and isn't real. Interesting strategy,
Pitching doesn't exist, and in a division where there's quite a few good lineups, you could say 4 good other lineups. You kind of need pitching to win. It was what killed them last year. That and young players taking a step back.
Is there anything funnier than when a team looks in the mirror and they're like, yeah, we were really bad at pitching. Let's completely not do anything about it.
You know, they tried to do some things. They brought in Shane Baz. They brought in Chris Bassett.
Chris Bassett is older than I am.
I don't believe in this rotation. Trevor Rogers, Kyle Bradish, Bassett, Baz, Zach Eflin. I can't buy into it. I just there's pieces there, but the combination of that with Ryan Helsley as their closer, and I don't know if that guy's good at baseball anymore, combined with their catcher being bad at baseball, it doesn't feel like the makings are there for this Orioles team as much as I wish they were.
I don't see how this is going to work out long term. I do think we're going to get like some really cool Orioles just won 11 in a row and they outscored opponents by 100. Like, whoa, that was crazy. Are they World Series contenders? Nope.
Yeah, I don't see it for them.
A team that I am very high on, and I'm surprised to say this, the Boston Red Sox is the next team we see from the American League East. We have a homestand against them June 20th and 21st. This is a very weird series because the U.S. men's national soccer team plays a game on Friday. So there's no Friday game, and we play a doubleheader against the Red Sox on Saturday and a game Sunday. So 3 games in 2 days. Weird series. Not going to be able to take a lot away from that, I don't think. Seattle hasn't had a doubleheader in a long time. We have a roof over our stadium, so we don't have to do that very often. And then we're on the road in Boston August 31st through September 2nd. This was our best opponent as far as record goes. We were 3-3 against them a year ago as far as AL East goes. I am all about this Red Sox pitching staff. Garrett Crochet is going to be a stud again. Ranger Suarez addition from the Phillies, and Sonny Gray in addition from the St. Louis Cardinals. They made a lot of additions, lost a lot of guys. Third base is an embarrassing hole that they created for themselves with the Devers and Bregman exit. Otherwise, good additions for them. Mahal, what do you got on the Red Sox?
This is a really good team, I gotta say.
I am
all in on the Boston Red Sox. That Wilson Contreras acquisition, I think, is going to look great for them. The top 5 in their lineup is really fun. You talk about Roman Anthony, Trevor Story, Jaron Duran, Wilson Contreras, Wilyer Abreu. Who, by the way, Wilyer Abreu is a really good player, if you didn't know. very underrated player around the league. That's a top 5 that I think can compete with anyone in the American League. I don't know if they have the, 1-2 punch necessarily that a team like the Mariners have.
Do they have a 25 home run hitting player? I don't know. I bet they get one.
Roman Anthony, I think, is a 25 home run player. I think that guy's really good.
He's 21. I think he's really good too. If you told me he hit 30, great. If you told me he hit 20, it's not like it's a bad season. Jaron Duran looking great for Mexico. He could hit 25 plus, but there's no, like, the Mariners have a guaranteed 25 home run guy. It's crazy that we have to say that. I don't know if Boston does.
It feels like the Mariners have multiple 25 home run guys if they're healthy for 162.
I didn't want to say it. But yeah.
I think you have at least 2, knock on wood, potentially more. But again, this Boston team, I like what they're building. Are they there yet? I don't know, but this division's wide open. I could see them winning this division 100%.
I have them number 1 in the division by comfortably.
Yeah. And I don't know if that's more so that they're going to take a super big leap or if other teams are going to take a big leap back. But you talk about the rotation, that 1-2 punch with Crochet and Suarez, both southpaws, I really like that. That's a really nice group at the top. We'll see sort of what they can muster up from the last 3 guys. Sonny Gray's 36 years old now. Brian Bayo's kind of been really up and down over his career. And Oviedo, I don't really know what he is, but they have depth also, starting pitching-wise. They have young guys that are ready to come up. So this is a team that, for me, is the best in the American League East.
Sonny Gray did not do well last time he was in the AL East pitcher. But I do think he has this year in him. I think this is going to be a good year for him. Let's move on to the Toronto Blue Jays. We play at home against them July 3rd through 5th. Yuck. July 4th, America's 250th birthday. We're going to be invaded by Canadians. It's going to be a blue stadium. It's going to drive me insane. And we're on the road there August 28th through 30th. In 2025, we had a 2-4 regular season record against them and a 3-4 postseason record against them. Stupid baseball team. They spent a ton of money on Dylan Cease, who the Padres have been trying to get rid of for multiple years and had a 4.32 ERA a year ago. Good job giving him $30 million a year. They lost Bo Bichette, and they added some pieces that might work, might not. I'm skeptical. Mahal, what about you?
I am a number 1 Toronto Blue Jays hater. And Jeff,
Yes!
Let me ask you, who do you think was their leader in WRC Plus last year? Let me ask you. Who do you think it was?
WRC Plus leader Vladdy?
No.
Okay.
It was George Springer. 166 WRC Plus.
He ain't doing that again. He's not.
He is not doing that again. It's not happening. They built nothing to make up for that regression that is bound to happen. I just want to remind you, in 2024, he was below average as a hitter.
Bad.
He went from a 94 to a 166 WRC plus. Can we get this guy tested? Like, does he have a trash can and a buzzer on him?
Is he going to be a Detroit Tiger at the deadline?
Once he gets DFA'd, he is a Detroit Tiger.
A DFA of George Springer would be so sick.
Like, I can't buy into this Blue Jays roster. You lost Bo Bichette, who is a terrible defender. But offensively, he's a really good piece, and you replaced him with Kazuma Okamoto, who is basically a rookie coming over from Japan. He's a prospect. You don't know what he's going to do.
I offered to take bets from people on your Minnesota Twins to win the division. I'm pretty skeptical that Trey Savage is going to be able to do this for a whole year when he dominated in the playoffs with like 0 film on him, no research, like no one had anything on him. You're telling me that a guy who pitched in single A year ago is going to be the AL Rookie of the Year and just dominate from the jump when you have film on him? Because he has a high release point? That's not enough.
And admittedly, I don't know what his arsenal is, but what I know about him is that it's a high release splitter fastball combo. That's a reliever profile, Jeff.
Yes.
That's Fernando Cruz. Like, I look up and down this lineup too, and this lineup was really what made them go last year. And it's like your 1-2 hitters are George Springer and Dalton Varsho. Springer 166 WRC plus. Varsho put up a 123. It's not happening again. Vladdy's a really good player. Barger is up and down. He's above average. Is Kirk putting up 116 again? I don't know. I don't know. And they brought in Jesus Sanchez because Anthony Santander, who they picked up last year to be a good hitter, it just doesn't play for them. The Toronto Blue Jays are not a good baseball team, and I'm sorry, but their rotation doesn't do it for me either. 35-year-old Gosman, Cease, who walks guys and, somehow gives up 1 million runs. Barrios, who has been bad and is now nearly 32. Cody Ponce, who's coming over from the KBO. 41-year-old Max Scherzer. And Trey Savage, who we'll see what the adjustments are against him. And then your closers, Jeff Hoffman. I don't know, Jeff. I really don't know. This could be the 5th team in the division, and I would not be shocked. They were bad 2 years ago. Legitimately bad.
I am so skeptical. Baseball has a lot of trends. We went all power, batting average didn't matter, and then the Blue Jays come in and they make tons of contact and they have a magical season. Like, for real, should have won the World Series. But to ask to do that again, I don't think so.
This is the 2023 Texas Rangers turning into the 2024. And you look, do they have help prospects-wise? Well, they have 2 guys in the top 100, Jeff, and one of them is Trey Savage, and the other one is 20 years old.
Mm-hmm.
They don't have guys that are going to come to help. They don't have guys to go and trade for help when they inevitably need it. They have a lineup that managed to work last year, but I don't see it working again. I really don't.
Last team in the division, the Tampa Bay Rays. Finally, biggest transition point for them. They moved back to the Trop. That's got to feel good to have a home stadium, not playing in a single-A ballpark. We play on the road in July, 10th through 12th there, and we're at home against them in August. 2025, we were 3-3 against them. We swept them at home, and we got swept on the road. I think that the best player in the division plays for this team. Give me some Junior Caminero.
Position player?
Yeah, best
rotation
position
player maybe?
Yeah, best
I think
position
Crochet
player.
is probably best overall player.
Oh, it's literally in my notes. Is Crochet, Caminero, Judge. 1, 2, 3.
Yep. Judge is probably the best position player, but Caminero is the best up and coming. This guy's only 22 years old. I did not realize that.
Stud.
He strikes out a lot. He also hits a lot of damn homers. And that works at the Trop. We'll see how he does going from a minor league ballpark to a major league ballpark. But this is a team that I can kind of buy into. Do I think they're going to win the division? No. Do I think they can cause problems for some of the other teams in the division? Yes. Because they can be pesky. They can win some ball games. They still have Yandy Diaz. They brought in Gavin Lux. They have Jonathan Aranda. They have Junior Caminero. That's a fun piece. A fun top 4 in your lineup. Will Yandy Diaz be traded at the deadline? Yes, he will. 100% will. Why he's been not traded already? I don't know. He's coming off a career season, and he's now nearly 35 years old. So Yandy Diaz will be traded. They're not going to be competitive in the division. They don't necessarily have the pitching depth, but they're a pesky team that's going to win some games and probably make it so that one of these teams doesn't make the postseason.
I think the second best bet in baseball for season over-unders is the Rays over. Their over-under total is at 76.5. And I just don't see a world where this team is way under that. You'd at least be in it all year. I think that this is a 500 baseball team at minimum.
I mean, it's the Rays, and they feel like the Rays. They brought in pieces that are like peak Rays guys. You talk about our guy, Ben Williamson. Like, he feels like a Ray. And I could see him go out there and produce. Where he's going to fit, I don't really know. He's kind of just going to be a utility guy, I think, for them. So we'll see kind of how he fits. But this is a team that I like, and I'm mad that they traded for Griffin Jacks at the deadline last year.
Yeah. Good
Like,
pitcher.
I'm really mad because I think he would have been a Mariner.
In a vacuum, better than the Gleyber Torres Trent Grisham question. Would you rather have Junior Caminero or Nick Kurtz?
Kurtz.
Oof.
I'm a big Kurtz fan.
OPS of what was it, 1.1 last year?
Dude's insane.
I think I'm with you because I don't know if Junior Caminero is going to stick at third base. I think they brought in Ben Williamson for a reason, unnecessarily. They just hopped in on that trade. Oof, that's close though. Kurtz is so good.
He's so good. We'll talk about him next week. I'm excited to talk about him. If he were in if the A's were in any other division, I think I would have bought a Nick Kurtz jersey because that guy's fun to watch.
Yeah, the best thing that can happen to us is if baseball realigns with 32 teams and we get Vegas out so we can be Nick Kurtz fans.
I would love to be able to root for the A's because that team is really fun to watch.
Vegas has the betting favorite as the Yankees. Hilarious, basically 2-1. Second, Blue Jays at 2.5-1. Red Sox 3-1. Orioles are 4-1, and the Rays are 20-1 odds to win the division. My prediction: I think the Red Sox win this division handily. I think they have the best 1 through 3 pitching staff in baseball. Not 1 through 5, just 1 through 3. I put the Yankees second with zero conviction. I put the Rays third. I think the Rays are going to be frisky. I put the Blue Jays fourth because I do not believe in this ball club. And I put the Orioles fifth because I'm a Seattle Mariners fan. Pitching is real. I do think all 5 teams, they're not above 500, but no one's in the basement anywhere. All 5 are better than the White Sox and the Orioles and the Angels. I'm sorry, the White Sox, the Twins, and the Angels.
Do you see any of these teams selling at the deadline, Jeff?
No, I really don't, which will be a mistake in hindsight. I think a lot about the Rays offered Junior Caminero for Ohtani 1-for-1 to the Angels in July. Ohtani's last year with the Angels. I wonder if they would say yes to that now.
I would hope they'd say yes, but you never know with that organization.
You never know
what they're thinking.
How about you telling the folks to come find you at Angel Stadium last episode? That was good stuff.
Hey, come find me.
Come find me. I'm out here.
There's not that many people there. It shouldn't be that hard. Let me tell you, $5 tickets for Angels games.
No. What do you have for this AL East?
5. Let's start with 5.
Angels.
I have the Blue Jays 5.
Let's go. Let's go.
I'm D1 Blue Jays hater. They probably will make me look stupid in this season at some point, but I don't believe in that roster. I'm not a Dylan Cease guy. I'm not a George Springer guy. I'm not a Blue Jays guy. I hate this team. I can't wait to sweep them over the 4th of July.
5th.
In Seattle and see another lady flip off the Mariner Moose with a walk-off home run.
I felt disrespectful putting them 4th, and you just were like, no, hold my non-alcoholic drink.
Yeah, I can't do it. I really can't. Their offseason sucked. Their offseason was terrible.
Doo-doo paper.
And I already didn't believe in them. At 4, I have the Rays. It's just not doing it for me. I don't know. There's not enough there.
How high did the Orioles land for you?
They land at 3.
Oh, okay.
I like their offense. I really like Gunnar Henderson. I think Pete Alonso will be a lot of fun there. I don't think Adley Rutschman is a great player, but I don't think he's as bad as he was last year.
No.
Colton Cowser, I think, bounces back. They have the offense to me to get into 3rd in this division. And mostly it's just that I think that those other teams are not very great. I just don't think they're that great of baseball teams. At 2, I have the Yankees. And at 1, I also have the Red Sox. And I think that the Yankees will sneak in as a wild card team.
I want to make fun of the Yankees. I love making fun of the Yankees. They did not add enough this offseason. Their offense is not good enough, but they still play at Yankee Stadium. Like their offense is going to look good. The numbers are going to be there,
Yep.
even though we both know it's fool's gold.
And I look at the lineup, the guys that I'm like, well, are they going to repeat? Well, they're all left-handed hitters, and left-handed hitters at Yankee Stadium are going to be able to produce at least in some way.
I think the best lineup in the division is the Yankees and the Orioles. The rotation is the Red Sox by a mile. Best player, I have Crochet 1, Caminero 2, Judge 3. Widest range of outcomes, all 5 of them. I could see all 5 finishing in all 5 positions. If the Orioles won the division, I guess that would be shocking.
I can see the Orioles winning the division. This pitching staff looks not great, but there are enough pieces there to me that if they manage to stay healthy and a few things go right, they could totally pull it off.
I'm happy that we're in the American League West, where there is some levity. We'll talk more about that next week. I think that all 3 American League divisions are going to have 2 playoff teams because the Central is going to get to beat up on the Twins and the White Sox and whatever is happening. I just don't see a team not just like getting a boost from that because they play so many extra games against bad teams. And then the AL East, I think it's going to be too good to have 3 representatives. That doesn't compute in my mind. They'd have to like sweep the Central and dominate the West.
Which just doesn't feel like it's going to happen.
It's because of baseball.
I agree with it. Yep. Baseball is baseball.
Well, I can't let this episode end without saying Cole Young looks freaking awesome. Really, really good.
Cole Young, Dom Canzone. We're the podcast. We believe. I'm a Cole Young guy. Love Cole Young. But with that, with Cole Young doing what he does and Brendan Donovan hitting 500 in spring training, that'll do it for episode 129 of the Light the W podcast. I've been Mahal with Jeff. We will be back next week to talk AL West, and we'll briefly talk about the National League. I will be back Tuesday, probably going to touch more on the WBC. We'll see if anything else comes up to talk about. But till then, hopefully you enjoy some beautiful baseball this weekend. WBC is going to be great. Till then, till next week, go M's and peace.